Hi, Francesco. Yeah, I just wanted to go through a little bit of who I am and what's going on and what I do and why I've done some choices and not some others, and why I do some things and I don't do any others. Anyway, uh, I'm an Italian drummer. I'm self-taught, and I've been playing drums since I was 13 years old. Now I'm 44, so it's been basically 30 years I've been in drumming. Unfortunately, not 30 years straight, since I had to stop for a few years, quite a few years, because I moved town and I had to leave my drums back at my parents' house. So a year and a half ago, I decided to buy an electronic drum set, basically for my son. I thought he wanted to learn drums, hearing his father could teach him, but unfortunately, I found he doesn't have the patience to go through the learning curve. So I don't think it's gonna happen in the foreseeable future. Anyway, this has brought me back to drumming, and has been a step forward for me since I'm stuck in an apartment. So I basically have no choice to play anything that's not electronic or sound. I mean, with muted sound or anything. So I don't have a choice. But I found that it works. It works, and pretty well, I have to say. I should say. I mean, I've been playing acoustic drums for my whole life, and I don't find a day and night. Of course, it's not the same thing, but I don't find a day and night difference in the feeling or in anything I can do that I couldn't do on my acoustic drums. So that's why I chose the Nitro Pro, because it's taller. I mean, the Nitro Max and the lower models are far too low for my back, and the hardware is much sturdier. Plus, this is a dual zone, so I can split the toms, and I'll go through that afterwards in the next video. And I go through BFD3. Why do I go through BFD3? Well, basically because it came out of the box. Came out of the box, and I found that fiddling and playing with it, the sound and the results are not too bad. I mean, out of the box, the Nitro Pro sounds aren't too bad themselves, but going through BFD3 gets you to the next level. That sounds very near to the real thing, and I pretty much like it. So for me, it just works. It doesn't have a huge learning curve, and when you learn to use it, it works. Now about my playing. I'm sorry if it sounds a little bit rusty, but as I said, I've been I haven't been practicing for quite a few years, so I'm just getting my chops back. And I don't play note by note. Why? For two reasons. I can't remember anything by memory, note by note. I could write down the drumming or take notes, but I just don't have the time, and I don't feel like doing that. And there are plenty thousands of drummers on YouTube doing spot on, not by note covers, and I find that that doesn't make sense for me in the crowd. So I think that what does more sense is adding a little bit of your flavor to the drumming. And I think I'll be doing more of that, since that makes you different and it forces you to push your boundaries. It's more sort of a what would I do, and it's not easy because it depends on your skills, on your knowledge, on your creativity. So for me, that's an important part of my drumming. Telling myself, okay, I'll try to be as near as I can to what was recorded, but at the same time, add some of my what would I do. Sometimes I'll do it completely, almost completely different to my taste for that reason. So you'll never find a spot on, not my note cover in my videos. I don't think that's gonna ever happen. I haven't played like that ever. I think I've never played, even when I had a band, when I used to play, do covers and demos back in the days, that I think that never happened. So it just doesn't make sense to me. I've heard covers of bands on YouTube. There's plenty of covers that have been done in this way with interpretation, with adding their own, and I find them absolutely fabulous. So I think that's the only way to do it, unless you're a working session musician that has to do it, all in the grid. But that's a completely different story. So I'll go through my gear and my choices and what's going on in the next video, so you can understand exactly what's all about, and I'll be a little bit more specific. Stay tuned.